do what it is, y'all. It's your girl Black Pop, aka Soda Baby, aka Azuka. And you're now tuned in to Soda Talks TV. Next subject we're going to be talking about is how to embrace detachment in your relationships. And I know in my other video I was like, oh yeah, objectifying them. Well, it's not so much about objectifying, because even that word, it's like, you're objectifying women. Like, you know, people love to take offense to stuff that's true in what we actually need to do so our minds can make sense of certain things so we don't be over emotional. But for now, I'll say how to embrace detachment in relationships. I feel like with an intention of trying to stay detached in your relationships, it's kind of like dissecting a frog in a petri, like looking at it for what it is. It's like looking at your relationship from a third person's perspective. When you're detached, you're able to have a broader perspective. And just because you're detached doesn't mean you're not going to feel that love that you can't control. You know, thinking about them all the time and not being able to turn it off. It does not mean that you're not going to feel the pain of the day that they cross you, the day that they, you know, show you that they're not the person that you thought they were. And just because I exercise detachment doesn't mean I'm not hurting while I'm doing it. And it's not like I want to separate. It's just that I have to do it in order to learn another dimension of who I am. And usually those things happen, those dimensions you learn about yourself usually happen when someone hurts you. You know, they usually happen in ways that make or break a relationship, that change you for better or for worse. Because someone could cross you so bad that it's like, wow, you look at the world completely different. And sometimes that person can come back from it. But sometimes it's like, wow, you still look at the world completely different, and they can't come back from those type of decisions that they made or what they showed you about yourself. And of course, it's easier said than done, but coming from a detached standpoint gives you a broader perspective, because you can't control what you feel for someone no matter how detached you try to come across or think that you are. Because coming from a detached standpoint will help you analyze certain decisions that you need to make about your relationship. And no, I don't have all the answers, but I do have a few tips. And detachment, honestly, was one of the best things that I learned that I had to accept to have a successful, happy relationship. Balanced. And when you're coming from an objectifying, detached standpoint, it gives you the clarity on what you need to do. It helps you understand that you still can't take the hurtful past with you. You know, because this is the thing, no matter who you end up with, that person is always going to remind you that they're human. And it's just the fact that we need to accept that we do have double standards for ourselves that we don't have for other people. And when you're in a relationship, sometimes it's like you can't believe that they would cross you a certain way, but life isn't fair. Nobody plays fair. And honestly, the person that you're sleeping with usually is the person who's going to hurt you the most in most cases. And it's just like, this is what we should be expecting when we're in the relationship. It's like, you love this person, but you have to just know that that day is going to come. And when you're thinking in the future like that, it doesn't hurt as much, depending on what it is. And this is why I say come from a detached standpoint, because when you're training yourself to be detached, it's like you expect it, but at the same time, it's like it hurts, but it's like since you're detached, you're able to move on from it because you are seeing things from a broader perspective. And knowing that humans will be humans, and knowing that you can't take the past with you, that gives you the opportunity to heal yourself. And always question what a certain disappointment in a relationship says about you. I don't care if it wasn't your fault. It's still there to show you something. And you need to take heed to that so that the cycle can end, so that you can learn the lesson and don't take the emotional disposition. And in essence, the reason why people play so many games in relationships is because of trauma that they haven't confronted yet. Let yourself forgive yourself for the shame that you emotionally have, for the shame that being with this person has caused upon you, that embarrassment that it makes you look a certain way being with them. And because of the trauma that certain people go through in relationships, it causes them to be immature. It causes them to be too jokey at the wrong moment. It causes them to push and pull with you in a relationship. It causes them to be predatorial. It causes them to be overly sexual. And when people say you are what you attract, it's usually about what you successfully let in. You can't control who comes to you. And you just have to rise above the temptation if it's not really what you want. Anyone can be tempted. So pay attention to their character. And if it's not what you want, then you just have to know how to pass it up and move on, because character is what you should value overall. Well, you should value your character overall. And if it doesn't match with what you have and plan for your life, you have to let it go. You can't control who comes to you, but you can control if you're going to be tempted and if you're going to fall from temptation. And traditional relationships just aren't working anymore because people play so many games and people lie so much. And it's like they're not showing up as who they are. And the dating practices that we were taught just aren't practical because nobody knows their purpose other than to be with somebody and have kids, And it's like, after the kids grow up, who is there to blame? After you want to date somebody for the money and the money ain't enough anymore, and then you get divorced, whose fault is that? Majority of people are just so disconnected and off their rocker that they don't even realize that they're not even in it for the person that they're trying to see. They're in it to get their rocks off. And that's why people are always searching and never finding something to hold on to, because this is what we've been taught. That's why you're just going to have to keep searching and trial and error, meet until you find someone who you're always going to do it with, and that just becomes an empty relationship anyway. And it's not your fault that people come at you a certain way. It just is what it is, and the way that the world has been programmed. And truth be told, traditionalism is for two insecure people that want to keep an eye on each other. Where you going? You can't do this. You can't do that. Because they don't trust each other and they don't trust themselves because they don't know their self. People don't like to do the self-discovery. They just like to see what they've been told and think that that's just the way, because other people may seem like that's just the happier way because they show you only one side of certain things, and it's just not the case. And one thing I will say about this, there's certain things that you kind of should expect when you're dating someone, at least certain things a man is going to do if he wants to impress you, if he actually likes you, certain universal things. And it's not always about, you pay for everything all the time. But it's like certain times, certain things, it's just like a nigga should still want to impress you. You know what I mean? He should still want to show you that I still got this. I got it. You know what I mean? Traditionalism is played out, and it's for unsuccessful people in their own life. And if you don't have anything in common with your partner for y'all, where y'all could bond on something that y'all both have in common, don't bring it to them. Rich and successful people do not have traditional relationships. It just is what it is, because some people just have to date to survive, and I'm going to enjoy my man. I'm going to enjoy my life. And if it really was up to me, I would be enjoying me and me alone. But it's like, that's just not how life works. Rich, successful people do not have traditional relationships because they bring in millions of dollars and they don't need each other to survive. They're around each other because they choose to be, and they have something in common where they bond, and they don't have to be around each other. They choose to be around each other. And it all comes down to your career path, aka your life purpose. Traditionalism is a means for two people who need each other to survive. They're in a codependent relationship and they need each other. And there's 4 different relationship types. Number 1, I'll call it toxic babe. Toxic babe is about 2 people together that are together because they're so into inflicting pain on each other. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get you back, I'm gonna get you back, I'm gonna get you back. And they think it's cute, but it's just really evil, you know? The second one is codependent, traditional babe. And that's usually where you blame outside circumstance for why you didn't find your purpose. You blame it on having kids. You blame it on, being faithful to this person. Meanwhile, they're doing whatever they do. And you use that as an excuse of why you didn't go out and figure out what your life was about, why you didn't find your purpose. The third one would be independent, dependent babe, aka a sugar daddy relationship. Like, so pretty much they know you're here for money and you're here to make them look good. And it's really one-sided and it's nothing more, nothing less than just that. The fourth one, which is the one that I am striving for, is interdependent babe, where you don't need each other, but you want to be around each other because you can. This relationship is y'all are just so whole in yourselves that you have nothing but to give to the relationship. You know what I mean? And that's the one that I strive for. And I feel like it takes self-discovery. And it takes trial and error in your own life. And everybody knows that the best way to learn life is through trial and error. There's certain things that books and your parents can't teach you. There's certain things that your partner can't even teach you that you have to learn on your own. And when you take the time to do your self-discovery, aka go on your spiritual awakening, your journey, it is kind of depressing, but very enlightening. But, when you finally take the time to do the work, it's like you're able to love even more because you're coming from a standpoint of, I'm my own person, I'm a whole person. And because of that, I have to respect that you're a whole person, and I'm going to be detached from that, because it's like, when you're detached from it, it's like you can enjoy that person even more. It's like, I just want you to come as you are fully without me. I don't want to have any of my manipulation on it. I just want you to come as you are. I want to see you for everything. So it's like, you see, this is why, so I can see the reason why I really love you, and not because of what I told you to do. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. No, be who you are completely, so I can know who I'm dealing with. Because I truly believe you can have it all. You can. It's going to have its ups and downs and balances, but it's going to be worth it, because it's like, it's nothing like, it's nothing like being successful and just, wherever you are, you're away from your significant other and they're just on your mind, and you're just like thinking about how in love you are with them and how you just can't wait to get home and the out of them. And this is the thing, like, another reason why I'm so patient about this is because, like, even with today's relationships, like, if you don't really like somebody, you don't really them good. It's like the sex is not good. And I'm the type of person, I like to go all the way in. I can't half-ass it. If I can't look you in your eyes, if I can't kiss you, like, I can't you. I just can't. It's just like, there's nothing there. It's like, and because I've been practicing that, it's easier to pass up people. It's easier to see through people. I don't even have to meet you. I just, messages, DMs, like, pass. You can tell by the way somebody comes at you. It's like, no, no, next. It's easier, and it's just like, It's a beautiful feeling to have, even if when you're not around them all the time. Just the longing and the thirst for your man, it's just like it's enough. And I honestly feel like I like people more in my head than I like them in real life, and that's okay, you know. And yeah, that's just what I look forward to, just really being in love with somebody that really reflects me on all levels. Well, maybe it may not be on all, but it's going to be majority of it. I know. And you just got to have that kind of faith and just really be ready to tear down your old self to rebirth yourself, you know, really start that alchemical process. And yeah, like, and that's another reason why I'm just like on this, because it's like the sex is not that good when you're somebody you really don't like, you know. It's like, nah, I'm not even about to waste my on you. It's not even all about that, you know. And yeah, what else did I have to say? Yeah, I just really look forward to just being in love with somebody and then just remind them how sexy they are and like how hard they work and how they deserve this and how I'm so lucky to have you. And when I look at our kids, I just see you and just like, look at what we made. Like, I am gonna have that. And it just is what it is. It's nothing like having a partner that you have like certain insider jokes with, you know, that only you and them know. Like, it's nothing like being away from each other and counting down the days until y'all finally get back together because you working, they working. And it's not like it's always gonna be like that, but it's like the thought of you in my mind is just, it's more orgasmic than almost being in your presence. For me, I don't know, that's just the kind of girl I am. Like, and it's nothing like, you know, still showing your man that you want him, that he's still fine, that he's still sexy, and, you know, still trying to get his attention, like still showing him that you thirsty, showing him that you want him. That's just the type of female I am. And I just don't hold back, because if I don't like you, it's like I can't be everything that I want to be. You know what I mean? And I really want to be that. You know, I want to get vulnerable. I want to show you it all. And even another thing, I know guys, I have to talk about this. They can't handle too much emotional. This is the thing when it comes to the crying. Okay, I just have to make this clear. Me crying in front of you is really about, I just don't want to be an adult for one moment. Because 10 times out of 10, I just needed to break down in front of you because I don't want to be an adult right now. Just let me cry like a baby, okay? And 10 times out of 10, I already know what I'm going to do. I just needed somebody to cry on their shoulder. Because guys, y'all don't know how to handle emotion, and, you know, I just don't want to find myself in a certain situation because you may not be that comfortable with certain things. But, you know, usually, well, for me, if I ever cry in front of you, it's just because I just don't want to be an adult right now. Like, little things like that. You should be able to do that with your man, you know. But like I said, only reason I'm crying in front of you is because I just don't want to be an adult right now, okay? I just need somebody to pat me on the back like a baby and let me know it's okay. Because 10 times out of 10, I already know what I'm going to do, why I have to do it. You know, if you give me advice, I might take it, I might not. But, you know, it is what it is. And that's really just the little things about life that we see in the movies that we always long to have, but it's bigger than wanting it. It's becoming it and then attracting that. And, you know, kissing a few frogs until you meet Prince Charming or whatever it may be. And yeah. But anyway, tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what y'all think. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Please follow me on Instagram at It's Black Pop. And So To Talks TV. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be back.